Okay. That was really weird. Is that actually... Are you zoomed in, you poor little dude? There you go. Oh, my first video probably is really weird. Oh. Does that make sense? Whoever asked me that question? Does that make sense?
Well, I got to the converted it relative I got to start after that.
Well, I mean, so how many have 1? 5 out of 111, right? Or how many have 2? 17 out of 111. Or how many have 3? 23 out of 111. The beautiful thing is they'll always have like denominators because they're always out of the same number. Add them up, divide, see what the percentage is. Right? Cool. Real quick, I just want to make sure you guys understand. There's a few people that are doing not exactly the problems I've assigned. So everybody knows the homework sheet and the fact that it tells you which homework problems to do, right? Does everybody understand that reality? I mean, yes.
I was able to do the first homework time, but for the next, the one I did that we're experiencing, it's kind of confusing because it'll be like, so you know how in the homework, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right part, but in homework it'll start like at 1 and it'll go through and do the entire chapter consecutively. However, on the homework it'll be like section 2.3 and it'll go 1 through 12 or like up to high numbers, and then it'll be the next section and the numbers will reset. So I don't know if I'm looking.
So the book has broken up the homework into practice section and homework section. I don't look at it like that because they did a horrible job of that. So I had to take some from both, right? So maybe section 1 homework would be, or section whatever homework would be 2, 3, 4, and 72, because I'm taking some from the homework section where they have all the chapters, and then they start over again at the first section, and so just do the problems together per section, right? So if you realize the little titles, you'll see that section 2.1, for example, shows up twice in both of those, how they broke it up.
Okay.
Yeah, so just do the problems, the numbers that I assigned. Don't worry about it skipping all over the place, because that's sort of what the book did, kind of skipped all over the place. I like it. Does everybody understand that? Everybody understands that there is homework to turn in? Because there's still people that I haven't seen anything from yet. I mean, you do have until the day of the test, but the God, you're not like going to do it all the night before. Right? And stats is hard enough without being so mean to yourself. Anything else from homework? Any other questions from homework stuff? You guys look beat up. Have I beaten you down, beaten you up? Are you concerned about your quiz grade? So am I. If you're concerned about your quiz grade, I am too. But you can make corrections, like I said. Quizzes, they each end up being worth about 3% of your overall grade. So a quiz by itself cannot kill you, right? But I see quizzes as checkpoints, so that when you get to the test, the thing that counts the most, the heaviest weighted stuff, you can not make those same mistakes again. So if you have questions on the quiz too, feel free to ask those, right? Yeah.
I got a question of B for the quiz.
1B?
Yeah.
Okay.
The population.
Yeah, so, and again, there's several different versions of the quiz. So,
Canada and the hospitals.
Sure. When you write an answer down to a population sample question, one of the most basic things you can do for yourself is a sample a collection of things or people that would have been picked from the population. And some things people wrote down, it didn't make any sense. It wasn't a group of people. They said the population was the occurrence of infection. That's not a group of people or things, right? I mean, so the population is a complete group of people or things that I want to say something about. And the sample is a subgroup of that. So the wording for both should be almost the same. One of them was going to have the word all in it. And the other one's going to have like a number or a subgroup or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I put. Like all the patients for population.
Okay, so you have a very specific problem. You can see me later. Yes?
So for number one, after the stratified verse said it's wrong, and I look at the notes I have, and I think it's wrong.
So cluster and stratified both start off with breaking it up into groups. Stratified does what? Some from each, right? Cluster takes everybody from some. That's what cluster does. I like it. So stratified would be me taking random people from each row. That's stratified. Rows are how the room is broken up, and I take some people from each row. Cluster would be I randomly select rows and take everybody from that row. Okay. Yes?
On the quiz question, 3, how would you do a simile plot of the number 100?
Oh, so if I tell you that 6, 7 means 67, which really, if you think about it, like just mathematically, that means whatever this is, I multiply by 10 and add that. So if I want to represent the number 100, and think it really just flows. 78 would be 7, 8. 81 would be 8, 1. 92 would be 9, 2. So 100 must be 10, 0. Yeah. 10 times 10 is 100, plus 0 is 100. Hey, it follows the rule. I like it. Yeah.
I also wanted to ask for number 2 with D.
So remember, if I said 40% of the people had blonde hair, the 40% has nothing to do with the data. It's how I analyze the data. What would be the question that I asked when I walked into the room? Or I didn't even ask it maybe, but it's a question I wanted the answer to. What is everybody's hair color? So hair color is the data then, right, for example. Or strongly agreed, disagreed. That's the data, not 30% strongly agreed. That's after I get my list of data, then I analyzed it, right? So the percentage is how I analyze the data. The data is the strongly agreed, or the blonde, brunette, or whatever.
I put down ordinal, so how would I...
Well, which version did you?
It's the one where it's like 20% strongly agreed, 30%
Oh, okay.
agreed, 5% disagreed. So how would you explain the why it would be ordinal?
All right, so what is it about ordinal? What's ordinal all about? It's data that has an inherent order. So not that I can put it in order, but it must be in order to make sense. So you can pretty much say exactly that. Yeah. Because if you were given an evaluation, you're going to evaluate me, and it said, do you agree with these statements, disagree, strongly agree? I mean, you would go, wait a minute, are you trying to trick me? What's this shit all about? It's supposed to be that scale going from strongly agree all the way down to strongly disagree. That makes sense. If it's out of order, it's a little bit, whoa, what are you trying to do? Right? Okay. Yes?
For like 1B, the sample, it doesn't have a specific number that you're looking for. We make it up, or there is a specific?
There is. Even if you had the one about picking hospitals, it's still all patients at the blank number of hospitals, yeah. The other one had specific numbers. You can cite the specific numbers. If you didn't cite the specific numbers and you cited the subgroups, and you said you took some of these, that's fine. Right, but if there is a specific number, that's smart to cite that. It's a quick way to answer the question. So, I mean, there's kind of a mistake that goes around. If I wanted to know if there is a link between smoking and lung cancer, right? And if I said my population was everybody with lung cancer or something, I mean, that's not good, is it? Do you guys see what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
if my population was everybody with lung cancer, what percentage of every sample I take would have lung cancer? 100%. Wait a minute. So do you guys start to see what I'm saying? So your population can't include what it is you're going to look for, right? Does that... your population should just be all the people that you want to say something about. So some of you guys made it too specific. They already had the infection. Well then, if your population is everybody with an infection, what percentage will the sample always be? 100%, because that's the only people you're allowing yourself to choose from. Yeah?
So it would be all patients from the 9 selected hospitals?
Something like that. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you any individual quiz answers. Yes?
We just want the answer, right? Not that. Do you know what the explanation or anything for the corrections?
Yeah, your corrections. I actually have colleagues that used to do, the students had to write a journal and they had to tell their feelings about the problem and their feelings about.
Oh my goodness.
All right, screw it. I mean, just figure out what you did wrong, put the right answer. It's up to you to get out of it what you should get out of it, which is why was it wrong? What's the right answer? Why is that the right answer? Right? If you find somebody had the same version of the quiz as you and you just copy down the right answer, okay, you're going to get some points back, but you're going to make the same mistake again. And what good is that? So it's, yeah. Yeah.
Can I ask 2A, it's like what level of data and, like for example, like number of cars stopped in a day.
So watch. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
If I said it was the lengths of turtles caught in a pond, right? That's my data. The length of turtles caught in a pond. That's the variable, right? Give me an example of a data value, or data that I could get if this is my variable. Give me an example. 6 inches. All right, 6 inches. Give me another one. I love it. 5.4. What about let's say 12 inches, right? A nice foot-long turtle, right? Sounds good. I'll be a little hesitant to put down there, 100 inches. I mean, it's a prehistoric turtle. I don't know. And notice to see what level the data is at. First, is it purely name data, or is it really numerical data? Well, this is numerical data. All right. So it can't be nominal or ordinal. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be interval or ratio. Does only subtraction make sense, or does division also make sense? If only subtraction makes sense, that's interval. If division also makes sense, then it makes sense that it would be ratio, because that's what ratio means. Divide, right? This length divided by this length is 2. And physically, that means this turtle is twice as big as this one. Okay, then. So the division comes up with a number that makes physical sense. So this would be ratio data. So how do you answer that question? Don't tell me you could find an average by adding. No. Give me an example data point, another example data point. Make the numbers go into each other evenly for yourself, because you're making this shit up. Might as well. And again, on one level, you're like, well, I'm making shit up. No. To investigate what a data value is, what level it's at, you think about what could you do with specific data points. You're giving yourself data points to see what you could do and what would make sense. Give yourself nice data points.
So what you mean when it says like explain, you don't know like exact words, you can give numbers to.
Yeah, totally. I mean, here I would say turtle lengths 12 divided by 6 is 2. Twice as long, and that's why it's ratio. I know you go, a little tear in there, move, right? That's beautiful. I love it. Okay, maybe. So really the levels of data, like we talked about before, it relates to what you can do with the data itself. Can you subtract 2 data points and make it make sense? Can you divide 2 data points and make it make sense? Higher and higher levels of data with the more that you can do with it. Some of you guys seem to think nominal means number. I know it sounds like number, but nominal is name data. So the minute you say, well, this is numerical, well then get the hell away from nominal, right? Because that just means it's only name data like hair color or type of car or whatever like that, right? That's just name data. It's not number data. Maybe. All right, anything else from the quiz or from homework or anything? I mean, today is basically review day. I do have the practice test. I'm going to give that to you guys, and you can work on that together if you want to. I have a little handout about the standard deviation stuff. I have an example on one side and something for you guys to do on the other. Let me just go ahead and give you, I'm going to hold on to the answer key for a little while. makes sense because you haven't seen the thing yet. I'm going to give out, let's just do both of these. The practice test. And then this other sheet. I can see what you guys want to work on. Your homework ready by Jason. Chapter 2, and then for some reason I put yours in with chapter 2 and 1. And there's the Yes. So real quick word about practice tests. I almost want to stop doing them entirely because some of my colleagues give out practice tests and then the actual test is the same as a practice test. Now, as a student, your immediate reaction might be, shit, yeah, who is this? Let me see if I can switch. I'd hope to God some of you be like, well, that sucks, I don't want that, because then you're not learning a damn thing, right? So don't, now I really desperately want you to understand, especially for this first one, the actual test is going to be very similar to this because it's very nuts and bolts, right? There's definitions you got to know, and then there's mean, median, range, percentile stuff that you got to be able to do. So there's not going to be a lot of leeway for types of problems. As you get further and further into the semester, the test is going to have the same concepts as the practice test, but they're not going to be the exact same problem. Then I'm not testing you on what you know. I'm just testing you on what you can memorize, which is not what math is, right? I'm sorry if you've been led to believe that by anybody. What else did I want to say? When I give you the answer key, don't just stare at it and go, yeah, that's what I would have done. Yeah. Right? Because then you build up that false confidence. If you're not going to have time to do the practice test, don't even look at the key. Because it's just going to build up false confidence in you, and then you're going to die on the actual test. Okay? All right, let me give you this. Part of me just wants to start with this, and then we can look at the practice test. So this one's got a worked out example of standard deviation on one side, and it's got the calculator commands there too. And the other side's got a problem for you to work out. And this practice tester guide, you don't have to turn it in. Don't turn it in. I got enough paper from you guys already, so you don't have to do it at all if you don't want to. It's really just a study guide, and also I've been doing it ever since my first class I ever taught, because my students said, what do your tests look like? And I said, I have no idea. I've never made a test before. So I sort of made it just to feel out how I wanted tests to look, and I just have done it ever since. But like I said, they're not really understood anymore. I don't know if I'm going to do it anymore. It might be my last semester to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So let's do this. I'm going to work this one out in about 15 minutes. I'm going to work out the backside. So if you want to work on this for right now, then you can follow along with me when we work this out. If you want to just do the practice test instead, you can, right? And I got the answer key for that. I'll give it to you before you leave. You're good? Everybody got a copy of both things, right? The practice test and the standard deviation handout. oh, you only have to do this if there's not enough stems to begin with. But now you got too many. So how many stems you got? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's plenty. You don't have to double up like that. That's only if you need more resolution. Like if you only had 2 rows. Like screw it, let me break that up a little more. That one's already broken up enough. Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I think I got it. Is it being specified as
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. But you have patients that are not in hospital.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I got.
And that's kind of the important part, is trying to see if the hospitals causing it. And we know now they definitely do. Don't stay there too long.
Do we work on this on our own?
You can work on it together. Yeah, it's that's beautiful. And I've got calculators. I just need your ID if you want to borrow a calculator up there. Oh, this is you can actually put an evaluation if there was a specific tutor that helped you out. So they obviously need. So you mean upstairs or downstairs? Downstairs. There should be a lot of tutors that have statistics.
Well, where else was it? Because we did it.
Wow.
The one with glasses?
Because there's some really, well, tutor it's not a tutor's job to get you an A, but at the same time, there's some really basic things that they should have helped you with. Right. Some, is
They
the
told me the same thing.
parameter.
Yeah, and in the morning, because I know in the morning.
Yeah, they told me. So they told me that they're trying to hire, every tutor they're trying to hire is supposed to be able to do statistics now. That's the idea. So if that's not true. I need to know that. And I don't even know if the coordinators know that the tutors themselves are saying I can't do it, and maybe officially they're supposed to be able to. So that's something we need to figure out, right? As far as I know, the last time I asked, everybody should be able to tutor stats in there. And apparently that's not true. So, okay. And even the ones that say they can, a little iffy.
The ones that I've taken, they say,
Can I give this to you now? My
Yeah.
test question?
Yes. Yes, I did. Right here. Cool. Travis, did that work? Did you get my email? With the, you have to go to it with your phone and click on it. You might have to turn off some security to install it.
Can I use the calculator?
Yeah, you have an ID. No ID at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, do me a favor. You're Yunwen, right? Yunwen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to call it. And you notice the data.
Okay. Thank you.
So make sure, when you turn it in, make sure I erase that.
Okay.
Okay.
Spread out. So we did.
Leave it that way. Yeah. So guys, real quick, if you're starting to work on that standard deviation thing, do not round the mean. I will tell you on a test if it's okay to round, and I'll tell you how far to round it. Can you understand what standard deviation measure?
The data distribution.
Be more specific. What standard deviation measure?
How far the data
The
is?
distance from the center. So if you round the mean, you're moving the center, you're changing the distances the center is from every data point, you are changing the standard deviation. This is not good. But on a test or something, if the mean comes out to be 4.8924, you say, oh my God, I'm going to tell you round to the 1,000th place because it doesn't affect it that much or something. Here, should be just 1 decimal place, right? So leave that poor boy alone. Make sure this.
so can I,
Yeah.
do you have all this on?
4:30, right before my 5:30 class. Yeah.
So for 1.1 and 1.3, you told me to correct on it, and then I did correct it, and you just want me to.
Oh, turn it back in with the original. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you.